We don't normally tour homes like this, but I saw this house at the market. It's by one of my favorite designers, favorite architects. So I knew I had to see it. I texted the designer. He said, we could come take a look. Let's go see in bed. Already, we're starting with a gorgeous steel entryway, giant door. I love these doors. They're super heavy and like solid. This is a very like low profile mid-century design, but it opens up into this amazing grand area. She did these beams, which are not structural, but they're amazing. Giant islands, which I just love for entertaining. This is where everyone hangs out. They did, I think this is marble and then soapstone countertops on the side, which I think is very chic. This is a very cool detail. This is just like a set in charge. Very like thoughtful details. Range is gorgeous. Of course, there's not an oven beneath it, which is like very chic. And just like this long, plenty of space. It opens up in either direction. There's a butler's pantry over here, which I've always thought was funny. Butler's pantry for your butler, but it has the oven so that that's not like heating up the space where the homeowner can store their larger small appliances, like your Ninja Creamy or your blender. There's no fridge in the main kitchen. The fridge is hidden away just because they wanted it to be very clean and chic, which some people might not like, but I think it's amazing. Let's go take a closer look at the butler's pantry. A little off from the kitchen, we have some more storage, shelving, open shelving. The oven is over here. Then over here, we have this very hidden. This looks just like a cabinet that matches with the rest of the cabinets. And of course, it's the fridge. I love a hidden fridge so much. I think it is so chic. And my friend, the designer, put these handles on just because this is the type of detail that we're looking for in a house of this caliber. I just love it. All of this storage space for, extra dishes. It's hidden away so that you can't see it, but it's still like this homeowner is going to have it styled and it's going to be gorgeous. And then we move into the dining area. This is a great room, which is what they're called. Meaning it's dining, kitchen, and living. Some people don't like that, but I just love how open it feels, how amazing this would be for our dinner party, for entertaining. Everyone is here in the same space, and you have different zones. So we have our dining zone now has blending space. This is an 8-person table. You could probably put an even bigger one here, 1 to 10 people. And then you move to your living room and you have people here sitting. They don't have it staged with a TV, which is pretty common. But in a lot of houses like this, there's a separate space where you're watching TV. Obviously, the gorgeous fireplace that they get with real brick goes all the way around. It is just like such a nice centerpiece for this very symmetrical space. Either side, you're seeing steel windows, and it just makes the light in here unmatched. This is a gorgeous, well lit, like basically hallway, and it's amazing. The ceilings in here are probably 12 feet. So when I think about that, I love just like feeling spacious and how it's not like the biggest room ever. This is obviously not structural brick, but it just is for the aesthetic. And I think it's gorgeous. It's very mid-century. Also, the steel, brick, and wood combos, just like the mixture of materials is it's very high end and cheap. A lot of times when I'm thinking about what I'm gonna put in a house, I think that the floors and like the other wood in the house need to either match or be very complementary. And she's just done this very seamlessly. It's obviously all very well thought. Some of my favorite things in houses are usually the windows and doors, and just like the different types of doors and windows you can have in a house really changes how it feels. This door is, hopefully 30K and worth everything. Impractical, and yet I just love it and I want it. I have to have it. So wrapping up downstairs, on the opposite end from the butler's pantry, we have a utility room, even more storage. Luxury homes usually have just like an amazing amount of storage. It does feel so luxurious to just have a place for everything. This is where your washer dryer would go. You have an extra sink over here, which is incredible. And then a half bath that also has access to the outside, which I love for if you're having stuff outside. People don't have to come through your house to go to the back room. Just those little details that make something feel really luxurious. And then over here, we have an office, great lighting. I can see a desk here so that you're on your Zooms and you have this beautiful filtered light, but just extra space so that when you're working, you shut this door, you're removed from everything. So the flooring is real hardwoods, which is again a high-end item. I like that they're wider planks. I think that's pretty trendy right now. You can definitely have smaller plank, but I think this is more modern. It just feels luxurious. We have these steel beams that are structural. The fireplace is gas, which is kind of cool. Whenever you see these as a key and used to turn the fireplace on, you don't have to necessarily like put wood in the fireplace. The wrapping on the stairs is just like so well done with the same flooring. Just like it makes everything feel really cohesive. All of the scoring is. Let's check out the primary. People really like a primary on the same level as the living space just because having to go upstairs is frustrating. And then for longer term living, you're going to be here when you're older. You don't want to have to go up the stairs all the time. This primary bedroom is not excessively large, but it's got really good light. Obviously, you want to do some window treatments here so that you can have some privacy. They made this really interesting choice to put a closet behind the bed, which I really thought about with my own living spaces, but I haven't had the space. I haven't had a big enough bedroom to make this work. I do think it's cool. When I first saw this, I was like, oh, this is not enough space for a primary suite. Luckily, there is another closet, but it's so nice to have extra space. You have two people living in here. Shoes are nice. You know, you can organize it however you want, but I was worried this was it, and it is not. They did a really pretty pop of color with this like nice cement tile. Really cool shape. You just don't see very often. If you watched our videos before, I don't love a standalone tub because so where are you gonna put your book and your triplet and your bubble bath and stuff? I think they look cool, but they're practically not it for me. I will probably have to put like a little table here if I lived in this house. But I do like the way that they designed this where the bathtub, the shower, and the toilet, it feels like it flows pretty well and it's not like an ugly door where there's bathroom closet. It's like it's private, but it's not ugly. And then this is gorgeous. Two sinks, so much storage, interesting faces, obviously custom. And then giant mirrors with just an interesting light fixture, which is the kind of their jam. They love a sconce, this designer, and then they love it just interesting architectural features. And then of course we have the actual closet that is plenty of space in my opinion. Well designed, well appointed toilet over here. It's a high-end toilet. What's all we need? We need a high-end toilet in a high-end house. And then the shower, it just has the details that you want to see in a luxury shower. So I think about like stuff like this a lot, where you can spend a lot of money on switchblade covers. These are like the mid tier. I love details like this. It makes them feel more modern. They've opted to go for built-ins instead of closets, which I think is interesting. I think it makes it feel like more designed and not. I think they obviously could have just put a closet here, but they decided to go for this. I think it's cool. Built-in desks in all of the secondary rooms, which you'll see. And then obviously your ensuite. This could be a kid's room or a guest room. They staged it with a twin bed, but you could put a king bed here so easily. And this would just be like a nice place to come visit. I love this terrazzo tile. I'm seeing it a little bit more. It's very mid-century. It's the high-end tile. They chose this like inverted concave tile that's like cemented kind of matte, which I think is a really cool choice. This is what it looks like when you hire a designer. Like they just think about these things. And then this giant window, this is so smart because this makes it feel way bigger when it's kind of a tight space. And then they hung the mirror from the ceiling. This is really interesting and funny. It is a little bit unnecessary, but like for kids or guests, it's not going to be the end of the world. But if this was my main sink, I would hate it. All right, let's go upstairs. This interesting detail that like, how did they think of this? It's so cool. It's just metal rods that are pieced together in a certain way, but it like makes it feel so fun and interesting to walk up the stairs. Also, I'm very safe. I'm not gonna fall. So up here, here's hanging out. Two separate rooms, very similar sizes, mostly to the same tech size, and a mirror of what you saw downstairs. So this is a very good family house. All of the kids will have the same setup, which is their Hiltons, their desk, or writing their poetry, doing their homework, and then an ensuite bathroom with a very similar setup. But they chose different tile, which I love. When I'm decorating a house, will often made just so easy on myself would say. All of this tile on the floors in the secondary bathrooms. They shows heavy chandelier, similar setup with the window. It's gorgeous. Hang mirror, hang light fixture, but it's different. And then a walk-in shower. It's gorgeous. This is like a pegboard. I've seen them do this in other houses. It's like customizable, so you can like flip these around and make anything you want. So like if you have kids who are interested in self-expression, you can have them put these little shelves up and like whatever they want in here to make it their own. I just think it's a cool feature, especially for kids. And then this bedroom, again, with the built-ins, the pegboard, the desk, ensuite bathroom, in a luxury home, all of the rooms have a bathroom. This one also has a patio, which was an interesting choice. I don't know like exactly what this will be used for. Like I don't see it as something that you would routine. Maybe you make this into more of a den area, but for the most part, it might just be this kid is like the window, different light fixture, and then This one does have a bathtub, so like you have different preferences with your kids or your guests, or you just want a bathtub. It's really smart. That is a bathtub with a primary, but like if you wanted a guest to be able to take a bath, it's nice to have that option. People love a walk-in shower. People also love being able to choose. This house is listed for $2.4 million. It's in one of the most coveted neighborhoods in Austin, and it's just so fun to be able to come into these spaces. Usually these are a little bit more date kept, as you might imagine. You've been following our channel. We are usually looking at stuff more in the 300 to 600 range because we like to help people who want to house hack or who want to be creative. This home is luxury. And if you're going to buy this home, you don't necessarily need to be creative, but this is a creative space in its own right. It is gorgeous. It is so well designed. So I'm excited to explore more of these things and to continue to talk through house hacking. So follow along, subscribe, like this video, and come back and hang out with us.